Hello guys, welcome back to another Q&A. We've got me, myself and Mickey and special guest Jordan Dujon. Zero energy again, not even a reply, you know, just leaving me hanging.
That was a false energy.
Let's get straight into Q&A. All right. First question from Raphael63. Can Caleb Plant beat Canelo?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I've never watched the guy fight.
Listen, Caleb Plant has got the style to beat Canelo.
I'm not saying he's gonna beat him, but
He has the ability
if I
to
woke
beat
up the
him.
next year and was like, Plant beat him, oh, okay. Yeah. He's a very good boxer, isn't it? What can I say for him?
That's good. That's going to be a highly technical fight.
Yeah, 100%. It'll be interesting to see how Canelo
Adapts to that.
and then, but the best thing about these high level box fights, you'll see Caleb Plant adapt to Canelo after, innit?
Yeah.
And a lot of fighters don't do that, but it will be interesting to see. Giacomo Skiat says, who is the most underrated fighter in the sport? Abdullah Ali. Nah, I'm joking.
Underrated.
Underrated.
That's a hard one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's tough.
Underrated. The next question, bro. Fuck that. I don't know no underrated fighters. He ain't an English guy because they're all hyped up.
You know what? Yeah, you know what I'll say. As much as I think Ryan Garcia is underrated
Richard Comey.
because obviously he's put out there as
Hold up.
Instagram boxer.
Hold up. There's a lot of people out there who think Ryan Garcia is the best fighter ever.
No, but the thing is, in
What
terms of actual
did you say?
boxing, like,
Underrated?
if you take out YouTubers think he's the greatest thing in boxing. But if you talk about actual people in boxing,
Nah. After that Luke Campbell
You
fight.
don't run an Instagram page, bro. I know there's a lot of people. Even when he was rubbish, they used to love him off.
After the
So that's crazy.
crazy.
Even when he wasn't
That's
good,
crazy.
before he went to Canelo's team, they still loved him off.
So,
innit?
just off of the Instagram videos, innit? Hitting up body pads and doing all that.
Yeah.
Fam. He was the greatest boxer alive.
it's crazy. That's hard. It's generation, man.
Next one.
Lost souls, man.
I'll have to put Now You're Nowhere there, innit?
Yeah. Oh, wow, bloody hell. How's he not people's pound for pound?
He's top 3 in most of the actual rankings, innit? But when you just talk to people, they never mention him, innit?
Who's that guy?
Man, his skill level's different.
Japanese.
Nah, I don't know him. Never seen him. But it's the weights, innit? I know you're talking about, but it's the weight category.
Imagine Deontay Wilder power.
Yeah.
But pure
But I know it's your guy. But
pure
obviously them weights.
fundamentals, innit?
Bro, if you
That's
look-
why
if you look-
I'm just trying to justify being obviously not underrated, but not really known, innit?
Yeah,
Bro,
yeah.
Them lower weights.
his ability is a counter punch, second to none.
He beat up Donaire, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was
a good
close
fight,
fight.
close fight.
Donaire was my favorite fighter at one point.
Yeah.
When he before around the Rigondeaux times.
She's your style of fighter, isn't it?
Talented. Where we got?
Does Ugas have the chance to beat Spence?
No.
Dan Levy. I think he'll give him a sort of a tough fight, but I don't think he can beat him.
It'll be a tough fight. It would just be, to me, how I see it, it's a lesser version of the Sean Porter fight.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. But you guys, he's a big.
To be fair,
he's a big
Ugas
welterweight.
did beat Porter, though.
No, but what I meant is Spence Porter
Okay.
in terms of that style. Yeah, I still see Spence winning that.
Mike?
I've never seen a guy.
Fair enough. I just want to point out for everyone out there, these two did not want to do the podcast because they wanted to watch Tottenham lose to Brighton.
Raw. We try our hardest not to touch down on football because it will get heated and political.
Who is the best inside fighter you've ever seen? Jim McGill.
Inside fighter.
Inside fighter.
I don't know. You know what? I'm actually gonna say, what's his name? Hands of Stone.
Roberto
What are we
Duran.
talking about, ever? Or now?
I was going to say everyone gonna say Duran, innit? So I'll
Yeah.
say in the last 25 years.
25 years. Inside fighter.
Duran come in 25 years.
Duran was fighting 5 years ago. Duran was big and strong. Inside fighter. Oh, James Toney's up there.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
James Toney's up there for me.
Well, you say that. How can you not put Mayweather in there?
Inside.
The thing is,
Nah, he's
Philly
not an
shows-
inside fighter, but he's not an
the
inside
Philly-
fighter.
the Philly shows design for inside. Or
Nah,
mid-range.
he uses it as a defense.
Bro, people are literally standing on top of him trying to throw punches. That's the inside, bro.
But he's not an inside fighter. He don't.
Oh,
I would say
you're
inside
saying-
fighter
you're
is someone
saying
that
James
looks to
Toney-
go onto the inside
yeah.
to start their
You're-
attacks.
you're
You know what I'm
saying
saying?
James
Someone
Toney.
that will use that inside, get in there and
But
fuck
is
a
it-
man up.
James
Defensive
Toney
guy, though, innit?
is exactly the same as Mayweather.
Yeah, that's true. James Toney does the same thing.
Yeah, I hear that more, but I feel like he's more.
I think your thing is more like
to punish him.
Floyd is more fighting sort of in the clinch more so than inside, isn't it? He's more so
yeah.
You know what I mean? And not
James
like
Toney
mid-range kind of
would
thing.
do slip, roll, big left hook, big right uppercut, roll off of that, right hand, left hook, roll off of that, and the feet ain't even moving. The same way Canelo. Same sort of thing, Canelo. Inside game, that little slip left hook to the body, he looks so comfortable. That slip left uppercut through the guard.
He's comfortable there, and it's because he's so tight and compact, and he's looking to
and that head movement. I think he actually might. If we're talking about 25 years, I might actually go with Canelo.
I will never put Canelo over Andre Ward. Never.
Yeah,
In the inside, you lost it.
Yeah.
You lost it, bro.
Yeah. You're gonna get people in the comments there. They're gonna be shooting you down. For
I hear that. What's his name? Dan Levy. Don't say nothing, bro. But fucking but Andre Wood.
You're thinking more mid-range than inside.
Andre Wood. Would you say most of his opponent? He was quite. Would you say he's a short super middle? Not short, but he was.
He's not the biggest.
So he was always kind of his style base. He was to get in the inside and bully man.
That's what I was telling you last time. There's not many fighters who can find the inside. So as soon as you can, it's over.
Yeah. Levels, and that's for me. Boxing, I feel like that's one of the obviously not the first thing because it's a very hard thing to learn. But I think as a professional, you gotta learn. You gotta feel comfortable in the pocket and be able to sit in there and work in there. Innit?
I think Canelo he gets into my top 5 in terms of defense on the inside. But yeah, I mean James Toney, Mayweather, put a bit Andre Ward.
It's sad that there's not that many, innit?
Yeah, there's not that many.
Spence.
Yeah, Spence definitely up there. Crawford as well.
Yeah, Crawford loves an inside.
Yeah.
All right, we've got a question from Anthony F. Joshua. A great modern day fighter will be able to compete in any era. Listen, yeah. First and foremost, let me break it down, yeah. He said compete. If you're telling me Terence Crawford can't compete with any fighter in the past,
what did he say?
He's not even listening, Jordan.
Yeah. Max lost.
A great modern day fighter will be able to compete in any era. Terence Crawford can compete in any era. I'm not saying he's gonna win. But anyone who's fighting Terence Crawford,
I'll agree with that statement.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that.
So your problem just because it's AJ.
No, who said I had a problem?
Do you think AJ could compete in any era?
I don't say AJ is a modern day great. So no, that's my answer. AJ can't compete in it. He's not a modern day great. No, but I believe.
Hold on. No matter who you are, you beat what? He's beat like 6 or 7 or 8 top 10 fighters. He's held 3 belts.
He's got the best record out of all of them.
What more do you want?
It's what my brother says. Expectations, level of expectations. In 30 years from now, you're gonna look back on AJ fights and be like, AJ, you're gonna talk about AJ with the 30 years, like, you know what I'm saying? Say we have some.
That's what they do. That's what they do with Muhammad Ali, fighting people like Ken Norton and those kind of guys.
What's that?
It's not just the big fights; it's your whole body of work. It's like the Aaron Barkley's beating Tommy Hearns. We take these fights seriously, and when you look back, you look at every single fight.
Wait, whoa! I feel like you just completely swerved off.
No.
I'm saying for all the other fighters of the past, like Muhammad Ali, you look at all the guys for. Do you know how much credit he gets for beating people like Ernie Shavers?
Yeah. I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
So why can't the same be applied for Joshua?
You know what it is? It's because we've got the luxury of having him right now, being an active fighter. When you see people at the end of their career, then you can appreciate them more. But people get onto you whilst you're in the sport.
Yeah, 100%.
That's what it is.
Let me throw something out there when I put it out there, yeah? The last, say from 2000 onwards, the Klitschko's ruled that division, yeah? Them man, people say like they spoiled heavyweight boxing.
Yeah.
Because of their style was boring. It was a boring time for boxing. People even go to say like the level of boxing was that bad. The Americans was coming out with all the excuses about because everyone's going into NFL, no one's going even into boxing no more. They're saying the level of boxing has dropped drastically with the Klitschko's ruling the division. There was no challenges, there was nothing out there. Nah. We talk about AJ's biggest fights, defining moments. It was a close, cool fight against a Klitschko, 41-year-old Klitschko, that had been dethroned a year and a half before by Fury and hadn't been in the ring. But that was his hardest, toughest, biggest fight that we look at and we measure AJ by.
Listen, how you got to look at it, yeah? AJ's been taking 50-50 fights since...
That was deep, innit? That was deep, cuz.
Since 10 fights in, he's literally been taking 50-50
Listen,
fights.
Respect to AJ. I'm taking nothing away from him. For me personally, I'm just saying, like, watching a fighter, watching what they do. He's done what he's had to do. Fair play, respect. It's never really, other than the early fights when he's going in there blasting man out, for me, it's not an exciting fight. It's not like a...
Can I just ask you one thing? Rank the heavyweights right now. Just
Rank
give me
'em.
3 or 4.
Rank them.
Yeah. Fury.
Straight, but underneath, obviously Fury's number 1. Number 2, AJ has to be there. Number 3, how many do you want?
3 or 4.
3 or 4. After that, I feel like Styles. I feel like after them two, obviously, it's
What you say, Wilder?
I've always put Wilder in there because of his power
So you say Joshua's top 3 in his generation.
of this generation, yeah.
So if you're a top 3 in your generation, how are you not a modern great?
Modern day great. All right, cool. He's a modern day great in a poor era, in a weakened era.
There's a lot of poor errors, bro.
I hear that.
And the thing is, it's weight divisions as well, because not every weight class is going to have generational stars.
So obviously, yeah, today he will be seen as a modern day great. But for me, if you're saying could it then, based on that question, if he's seen as a modern day great, then for me, I wouldn't say a modern day great can mix it with any era.
I heard that. Oh,
wait, but that's like contradiction.
Can compete. What are we talking about competing? You talking about just turning up, getting in the ring, and putting a good showing of yourself?
What you think?
If you're
Joshua
saying-
versus Holyfield wouldn't be a close fight?
That's a good fight, man.
It's a good fight, bro. It's a good fight.
Peak Holyfield.
Peak Holyfield before the steroids.
Bro, I think Holyfield touches him up.
I'll probably pick Holyfield, but I'm not gonna go into that fight. I think, right?
I hear that Holyfield Foreman. You go back and watch them Holyfield Foreman and them sort of fights there, yeah. The intensity of the fights.
No, it's true.
Them man was going at it for 3-minute rounds. This level of boxing today, for me,
It's
they
not active
exchange
enough, yeah.
for a minute and a half. There's a lot of faking. There's a lot of the technical side of boxing going on, which obviously, as sport improves, it does get more technical. But in that sense, can that technique really?
It's not that draining, innit?
Yeah,
I'm telling you, how your strength and conditioning coach? You're giving guys steroids and they're not as fit as the guys from before. It don't make no sense to me, bro. It really don't make no sense.
Yeah. See, that was a good one, the one you threw out there, Holyfield. Obviously, we have to take, again, size and all that stuff into consideration. These heavyweights are a lot bigger as well. And boxing has improved drastically in the science side of it. But for me, you know my style of boxing, what I love in fighters, and them brothers from that era there, that generation, the 80s, and them times there, I think them men are built different. Cause I just reckon they go in there head down.
I agree with that. To be honest with you, I think different generations. I think today's generation, a lot of boxers, they don't focus on improving their craft. They just go and do the same things every day, day in, day out.
Yeah.
But back then, they know we're going to commit to mastering head movement. We're going to commit to mastering this.
Yeah,
and then
you got
the difference. That's the difference.
Yeah. But you gotta do some rocky shit, fam. You gotta go to the mountains, cause you gotta go back to the hood, cause you gotta go everywhere, but learn all them styles, all them fucking.
I think the difference with
back in the day, I feel like everyone had everything. Even the inside fighters had a beautiful jab. They knew how to move their feet, and it was a given. You had to be comfortable on the inside. You could not be a professional boxer in the 70s and 80s and not know how to sit in a pocket.
I think the difference between, I agree that with AJ's statement. But I think the generation, if I'm going by like who wins and stuff, I think all the modern, the previous champions, any era, any style of champion, I think their hunger was different. Today, they're getting super paid straight off. Back then, it was eat to survive.
And even after a world title fight, you could be left in with not a minute. You come out of a world title fight.
You're getting robbed in contracts left, right, and centre.
Yeah, you could owe money. You could win a world title and owe money.
Yeah. But I think let's get away from AJ so much. I think it's a deeper conversation. It's like you look at the 4 kings, and people act like Mayweather could never live with them. Innit? I remember Sugar Ray Leonard. He went on, Skip Bayless' show, and then Skip Bayless was just so happy to have someone who's obviously gonna be anti-Mayweather, innit? And he was like, Sugar Ray Leonard, please tell the world how you beat Mayweather. Do you know what man said?
No, I wouldn't beat him.
I don't know. It's like, obviously, I'll back myself to say I'll beat him, but you look at that defense, you look at the way man fights, and you think, bro, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna try my best.
That's the mentality. That's the mentality. And obviously Mayweather being obviously undeniable, the best, potentially could be the best defensive fighter of all time. One of definitely the smartest fighters of all time in terms of ring craft and what he does in the ring. I always used to say that Leonard beat him just because I love that exciting, come forward, hungry, but as you get on and you get older, you realise that's boxing smarts. You know what I'm saying? He's going to make it very difficult. It might not be the fans' cup of tea. He might not please everyone, but obviously he has the ability, I think.
You know what it is with Mayweather, which made it so great? he doesn't fight the same every time. Whoever's put in front of him, he adapts to their style.
Yeah. So what you were saying, going back to that, just the four kings. I believe. I wouldn't say that Mayweather couldn't mix it with him. I feel like Mayweather's one of them. Even though he's a modern day great because of his art era, he's an all time great as well.
Who else? Pacquiao will do well as well.
Pacquiao.
I don't think there's any modern great. Like even someone like Miguel Cotto, he weren't the apex, but he was still.
Listen, if you put Prime Roy Jones in this division, you clean up everyone right now.
What, middleweights?
Middleweight, super middle.
Yeah, probably still.
Bro,
He's like 55 years old, fam.
Yeah.
that's Jordan's hero, cuz.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one beats a Prime Roy Jones.
Prime Roy Jones. He comes. And you know what it is? You know what it is? My fantasy fight would have been Prime Roy Jones.
Andre Wood.
I would have loved to
Roy
see
Jones
that
smacks
fight.
him though.
I think so.
Too much speed, innit?
Speed.
Just everything, innit? I know he can do what he wants. You can't suss that. I would take 8.
Tony v. Ward.
Good fight, exciting fight.
That's an inside fight. And you know what? That's a dirty fight as well. You know that's a dirty
Yeah.
They might even get headbutting. Mike Tyson bite, you don't know.
Bernard Hopkins, Andre Wood. These are getting technical fights, like strategic fights, innit? But with that grit as well.
All right, Jordan, you haven't fought for a while. How's lockdown and just everything boxing wise for you?
Oh, you know what? It's just very frustrating. Obviously, with the pandemic, I'm not the only boxer. But yeah, it's tough. I mean, just keep training, sticking along, not knowing when a date's going to come. So right now, it's a case of, listen, anyone, welterweight division, anyone, I'm taking that fight. Put me on a big show, doesn't matter who it is, I'm going on there, I'm knocking them out. Because you know what? I've got so much built up rage. Listen, it's going to be like Hagler Hearns, but they won't even know it's Hagler Hearns. It's going in, the gloves coming off.
They're going to think Hagler's in their ring.
Yeah, bro, I'm telling you. And that's not even my style of fighting, but I'm literally giving it to man just for having that much inactivity.
Or what kind of fights would you be looking for next? Name some fighters.
Name some fighters. You know what it is, truthfully? I mean, he's taken some L's recently, but I would have loved to have got Florin Marku before he started getting these draws against people that are not even up there. He's been calling out Conor Benn and Chris Congo and all these other men that they've proven to be elite in this division, innit? My man's not even putting away journeyman. Like they've been paid to put there for you to look good.
And you're struggling.
Struggling, man. I'll tell you what, put him in front of me, 3 rounds. He's out. No joke. 3 rounds, done.
Anything to add, Mike? You're his coach, fam. You liking the words you're hearing?
Brother, Jordan stage ready, innit? You know what I mean? And brother, I ain't got to hear it, fam. You see it in the gym, you know what I mean? You see it in the work rate and you see it in the graft that we put in. So let the opportunities come. We know the situation. Like you said, it's hard for all boxers at the moment. Everyone's going through the same shit. Everyone, not even boxing, everyone, innit? It's just a waiting game, being patient. And I think, obviously, for these men, it's hard to try and stay switched on, stay focused. But obviously, if you can do that and stay ready, hopefully the opportunity, when the opportunities come, because obviously they will come, I know Jordan will be ready. And if he is one of them fighters out there, a big name, you know what I mean, someone that we can really get out there and make a statement, I know it's going to happen.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.